Friends, Sri Ram and Sri Sita Devi are in the forest. Lakshmana is accompanying them. Sita Devi once raised a question. My dear Ram, we are in the woods. I want to see the yogis living in this forest. India is known for yoga. Indians are yogis. More so in the woods you find greater, better, perfect yogis. Please take me to the ashram of very good yogis. I want to see a female yogi and a male yogi. Please take me to the best ashram. Number one question. Two, what is the use of doing yoga? What is the benefit? Is it only physical health? What other benefits do we have? What is yoga? What are the fruits if we practice yoga? Sri Ram said, everybody is a yogi and there are 4 components of yoga. You have your 7 steps, 8 angas, they are all one particular categorization. From the point of view of the body, there are 4 components. Sri Ram says, now, number 1 is the physical component. The physical component consists of the performance of your exercises, yogic exercises, asanas. It also includes Surya Namaskars. It also includes pranayama. These components are the parts of physical yoga. That's not full. Next is psychological. In that psychological part of yoga, mind has to be made calm. It has to be maintained in tranquility, serenity. It should not have the waves. It should not have the impurities. When it is free from impurities, it is called nirmala. Without mala, without impurity, nirmala. Mind should be pure, nirmalatvam. And then, mind should not have the waves, thoughts, movement, nischalatvam. Mind should be both pure and quiet. When it is quiet without thoughts, when it is quiet without calm, without emotions, then it is serene, tranquil. Both of them are available in Manasa Sarovar. Manas, manas, mind. Sarovar, lake. A lake of pure water. A lake of no waves. Manasa Sarovar is the mind lake of purity and tranquility. It is the mind lake of calmness and purity. This is the psychological level. At the intellectual level, you must be in a position to find out the truth behind everything. What is permanent? What is impermanent? What is favorable? What is not favorable? What is right? What is wrong? Discrimination. Vichakshana jnana. God has given us the ability to discriminate right from the wrong. And we must make an inquiry. We must find out what is the permanent truth, Sat, Satya. When we probe deep through the intellect what is truth, then it is intellectual yoga, physical yoga, asanas, psychological yoga, purity and quietness, intellectual yoga, you try to know the truth and be established in the truth. And then finally, it is a spiritual yoga where you are in a trance state, where you are in a blissful state. It is a spiritual sublimity where you have Brahmananda, the highest of happiness, the abundance of happiness, the greatest of happiness, the permanent happiness, uninterrupted happiness, infinite happiness, endless happiness. And when you are able to have all these four, chiefly the top one, everything will be a sport. For your information, this yoga can be condensed into two. From four, it can be condensed into two. One is psychological, the other is spiritual. We can drop physical, we can drop intellectual, they merge with the psychological. Further condensation. We can have the psychological yoga and the spiritual yoga. Then Sita asks, is there anybody who has practiced yoga to its perfection in these woods? Is there anybody who has established a perfect ashram to practice that yoga? Is there anybody who is enjoying the fruits of that yoga? And Ram says, yes, there is Prashant Kutir, there is Guruji, he has reached the highest. And his sister, Didi, Dr. Nagaratna, she has practiced perfect yogis, psychologically, spiritually, they have reached the heights you find in Prashanti. I am not asking you about Prashanti of Kali Yuga, I am asking you about an ashram in Treta Yuga in the forest, Sita said. Oh, I see. Then I will take you to a beautiful ashrama of Anasuya and Atri. Anasuya for psychic perfection, Atri for spiritual sublimity. Anasuya is not a woman, it is a psychic state. Atri is not a person, it is a spiritual perfect position. These two are symbolically presented as the heights of yogic excellence. And now Sri Ram narrates the story of Anasuya and Atri. My dear Sita, you must have heard about Narada. Yes, excellent media man, excellent press reporter, excellent public relations officer. He is available wherever there is a function. He is available wherever there is a celebration. He will be available with the camera to spot out the defects, to highlight the merits. An excellent media man, cameraman, public relations officer is Narada, available in all the ages. I have heard about him. That Narada does not stay in a particular place. No cameraman, no media man, no press reporter will be fixed to a place. He will be going about, wandering about. Now, you have this Narada. One day, he went to the ashram of Anasuya about 7 o'clock in the morning. And then he said, "Ma, I am hungry." Anasuya brought beautiful sprouts, green gram sprouts. Narada enjoyed it. Beautiful, wonderful, highly nutritious. "Ma, thank you very much for the wonderful breakfast you have given me." "Where are you going, my dear Narada, from here?" "I take the first flight. I am going to Mount Kailas." "What for?" "I will have my lunch there." He went to Mount Kailas. Parvati Devi received him and she served him excellent lunch. He ate. And at the end she asked, "My dear Narada, how is food today? Payasam. How is vada? How is this?" "Oh, wonderful, excellent. Ma, you have given me very good lunch." Have you ever tasted this type of lunch anywhere? Everything is good, but in Bhuloka, in Prashanti Kutir, in Sadapurna, the sprouts are excellent. In Anasuya's ashrama, this morning I had breakfast. It is wonderful. You idiots! You have eaten the lunch here. Everything special I arranged. You don't have the minimum courtesy to praise me to the utmost. You praise some woman before me. She was angry. "Get out." Narada rushed. And she took the mobile phone and informed Lakshmi Devi. "This Narada is coming. Mostly he will be taking his refreshments in the evening in your house. That fellow has a tendency to praise a particular woman. See to it that woman is not praised too much. You give him very good food." Lakshmi received the message, received Narada at 4 o'clock, and she gave wonderful tiffin, chocolates, ice cream, and whatever the new names, pizza, everything from abroad she imported, everything in gold cups, gold plates, gold spoons she served. Narada enjoyed every bit of it. And at the end Lakshmi Devi said, "How is the refreshment?" "Wonderful. But madam, Anasuya's sprouts are better." "You idiot, you have eaten everything. Do you know the cost of the refreshments? I have spent more than $5,000 for this. You don't know how to praise? Get out." And she took the mobile and conveyed it to Saraswati Devi. "The fellow may be coming there for the dinner, for the light dinner. Arrange everything and try to get the appreciation from him." She informed. Night 8 o'clock he took his flight and went to States, and Goddess Saraswati in Satyaloka was available. She served him very delicious dinner. At the end she wanted the feedback. This tendency to get the feedback is for correction, not for glorification. Many people ask the feedback. What we expect is, "Wonderful sir." No. It is only to know what are my defects so that I can improve them, rectify them. If people do not appreciate me, I get angry with them, annoyed with them. That is not the purpose of feedback. Feedback is a suggestion box. Feedback is a report wherein I can find out our defects and rectify them. Normally people expect appreciation. If there is no appreciation, we get annoyed with them. And Saraswati asked, "How is my food?" Again the same thing is repeated. Anasuya is the best. Saraswati is the representative of the scholars. No professor will appreciate another professor. If one professor is speaking, another professor will not be seated. That fellow does not know ABC of Sanskrit, he is lecturing. Who will go to him? The professors have so much of animosity. Swami Vivekananda says, it's the bane of our society, jealousy. And two rich people cannot admire each other. Goddess Lakshmi, embodiment of wealth. And two powerful ministers, they will be angry with each other. Now, power cannot admire another powerful person. One scholar cannot admire another scholar. One rich person cannot admire another rich person. The common quality among all the people is envy, jealousy. And that jealousy is topmost. And in Sanskrit, jealousy is asuya. If you are free from asuya, it is called anasuya. Na plus asuya is anasuya. The mind which is free from jealousy is anasuya. Anasuya is not a character in a particular book. It is only a state of mind where the mind is free from jealousy. Once I was here in this Prashant Kutir, near that Krishna chariot, two ladies were talking to each other. After a long time they met here. One lady, an elderly lady, was talking to the other elderly lady. They both were classmates long ago when they were in their 16 or 17 years. When were you married? How are you? How many children you have? You have your courteous conversation. One lady asked the other lady, I have 3 sons. Very good. What is your first son, eldest son doing? My eldest son is in US. Very good. He is a software engineer. Excellent. How much does he draw? Per week, he draws £1,000,000. Very good. Excellent. Is he married? Yes. He has a beautiful wife. She is also a software engineer. She gets another £1,000,000. Wonderful. Excellent. What is your second son doing? Here the first lady's BP is raising. Second lady answered, my second son is in UK. Very good. What is he? A doctor. How much does he get? Per week he gets £5,000. Good. His wife, a lady doctor, she gets £1,000. Wonderful. Excellent. BP has come to 270. Hope, last hope. What is your third son doing? About him only I am a little worried. From 270 it is coming down. Jealousy is such. It takes delight in the distress of others. When others are unhappy, we are happy. That is the quality of jealousy. When others are happy, we are unhappy. That is the quality of jealousy. Now, this jealousy must be totally removed from the mind to be a yogi. There are 2 steps I said. One is psychic state, the other is the spiritual component. In the soil of psychic perfection, in the land of psychic excellence, in the ground of psychological purity, the spiritual seed sprouts. Milk continues to be pure, milk continues to be sweet if it is in a good pot. If the pot is dirty, if the vessel is dirty, even spirituality gets spoiled, milk gets spoiled. That's why Adi Shankara was very particular about Chitta Suddhi. Chitta is mind. When the mind is not pure, when it is made dirty by jealousy, all the other things also a person may conquer. You may conquer lust, greed, possessiveness, miserliness, anger, hatred. All these things may be conquered, but that unconscious, innate, minute spark or dirt of jealousy cannot be avoided. Swami Vivekananda was a victim of jealousy. The person whom he invited to India spoke rumors, spoke dirty nonsense about Swami Vivekananda. Human mind takes delight in comparing himself or herself with others. If the others are found to be superior or better, there is depression. In 90% of the cases, depression is due to jealousy. And Julius Caesar says, better to be the first in a village than to be the second in Rome. Saturn says, better to reign in a hell than serve in heaven. I want to be number one wherever I am. If I am number two, I am smitten with jealousy. Jealousy is the bane of society. That's why our rishis have placed Matsarya there at the top. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, 5 qualities. Matsarya means jealousy, Asuya. Unless a person conquers that, he is not fit to become a yogi. Anasuya is the psychological state. And now these 3 great ladies, the rich lady, the powerful lady, and the scholarly lady, husbands came in the night at 10 o'clock after performing their duties in their offices, and all the 3 wives caught hold of their husbands, caught hold of their ears, henpecked them, pricked them. My dear husbands, it seems on the earth there is a woman called Anasuya. Go and test her purity. All the 3 husbands, according to the story, came to Anasuya's ashram, and the 3 old people were the 3 Brahmanas, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, in the disguise of the Brahmanas they came, and Bhavati Vikshandehi, they said, Ma Anasuya brought food from within. And the 3 old people who have crossed 80 said, old people are more dangerous than young ones. The 3 old people said, we don't accept food when you give it with your costumes. Without clothes, give us food, then only we take. Mischievous old hags. And Anasuya looked at them. I see. That means you are somebody different from what you are. She closed her eyes. She was able to perceive the truth. In a pure mind, intellect sparkles. Truth will be made clearly known. She was able to see Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. I say, I shall fulfill your desire. She brought a little sacred water, sprinkled on them. The 3 great people became the 3 children of each 2 months, 3 months. And those 3 babies were kept on her lap. She fed them. Husband Atri Maharshi came. Who are they? The great gods. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. They are our children. And Atri, Na plus 3, who has transcended every 3. Sthula, Sukshma, Karana Sarira, Tamasu, Tamoguna, Rajoguna, Sattvaguna, past, present, future. All these trio, you transcend, you will be established in the infinite bliss, and that is your Atri Maharshi, spiritual sublimity. When the psychic perfection Anasuya and the spiritual sublimity transcending all the 3 kalas, 3 karmas, 3 gunas, 3 shariras, when these 2 are together, that is the excellent psychical spiritual perfection. In such house, in such ashrama, In such yogic excellence, creation, sustenance, and the summation, all the three, commencement, continuation, and culmination, generation, ordaining, and dissolution, Srishti, Sthiti, Laya will take place as a sport. We enjoy the sport of life. Leela. Birth is a sport, life is a sport, death is a sport. I started at 7:30, commenced. I continued to talk till 8 o'clock. I complete the talk at 8 o'clock. These three activities of commencement, generation, continuation, ordaining, dissolution, culmination are divine activities. G for generating, O for ordaining, D for dissolving, G-O-D. We become a God. We become divine. We become persons of sport. Whole life will be a Leela. There is no depression. There is no suffering. And such people are yogis. Anasuya is not a female character. It is a psychic state of perfection. Atri Maharshi is not a male character in any textbook. It is the spiritual sublimity that a person attains on account of Anasuya. When these two are together, that is yoga. A yogi is divine. A yogi finds everything to be a sport. A yogi is free from depression. A yogi is always smiling. A yogi is always cheerful. And that is our great Sri Krishna, ever smiling, young Sri Krishna. May we now meditate on that Yogeshwara Sri Krishna. Om